Welcome to SHA, the Sound Healers Association, founded by Jonathan Goldman in 1982, bringing education and awareness of the use of sound and music for healing and transformation. SHA features presentations by founding pioneers in the modern sound healing field, and we have a sound healing directory allowing you to list your work or find practitioners and teachers. There's a monthly online meeting, a blog, a vast resource of articles, and much more. SHA, the Sound Healers Association, is dedicated to bringing harmony to the world of sound.
Okay, here we go, and we're jumping in now. And again, I'm Steve Farrell with Humanities Team. I'm here in Boulder, Colorado. I live near my dear friend Jonathan Goldman and his wife Andy, and it's my pleasure to be here just to introduce Jonathan and Andy as this program starts. So, and of course, this is a sound satsang, and it's a monthly program now that Humanities Team is really grateful to be producing each and every month with Jonathan and Andy. So thanks for being with us. I think you're going to have a fantastic time. Let me just want to read a brief introduction here as we get started. So Jonathan and Andy Goldman are a powerful pair in the world of conscious living and sound healing. Jonathan is an internationally recognized authority, pioneer, and author in sound healing. Andy is a licensed psychotherapist who utilizes holistic treatment and sound healing. Both are highly respected leaders in the sound healing and spiritual music community. Andy and Jonathan have co-written 2 books together, Chakra Frequencies and The Humming Effect. And again, I'll just share, when we came out a moment ago, Jonathan and I were sharing that sound healing is really taking off as it should, because it is, as we're creating conscious living in the world, sound healing is a big role. It's an incredibly useful device. And you're looking at the man here, Jonathan Goldman, who got this whole thing started, was called to it at an early age, and hooray, thank God he was, because look where sound healing is today. And my pleasure, Jonathan, to turn this over to you.
Hi, and thank you for that lovely introduction, Steve. It's just wonderful to have everyone here. I am Jonathan Goldman, and this is our fabulous Summer Solstice Sound Satsang. Now, as you can notice, my beloved wife Andy is not with us tonight. She had a scheduling difficulty and sends her love, her light, and her sound to every one of us, and knows that we're going to be having a just wonderful experience. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is a sound satsang. A satsang is a Hindu Sanskrit word meaning a teaching, discourse, and we basically delve into the realms of using sound or vibration, all sorts of different aspects tonight on this fabulous summer solstice energy. We're going to be focusing on the energies of water and sound, which is just really great, water and sound. So thank you for joining us. This is going to be just really a wondrous opportunity to be sharing with you, because water is such an extraordinary phenomenon. So tonight I'll be talking about water and sound, and we'll be dealing with the importance of water and its profound relationship with sound and consciousness, among other things. Then after that, I'll be showing actually a video called Divine Dolphin, and I think you will agree that it really is the embodiment of a lot of the energy of water and sound. And then I'll be talking a little bit with the guidance from Andy, who gave me some notes about the astrological implications of this fabulous summer solstice. And then finally, we'll be doing an extended, and it's extended, it'll be a little longer, guided global Om, because we'll be focusing on, boy, healing the earth, and particularly with the earth, the waters of the earth, because without the waters, as you know, there is no life. So we'll be doing that. So this is going to be a wondrous opportunity. Stay tuned and be with us. Thanks for joining us. I am Jonathan Goldman, and you and I make up the fabulous Sound Satsang. Now, as you may be noticing, I am not wearing my normal Sri Yantra t-shirt. I'm wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. And that's because Jimi Hendrix did a wonderful song called Waterfall that is the embodiment of water and sound. So I thought I'd honor Jimi and the song tonight. So water and sound. Wow. Why water? I've had a profoundly deep, if you like, resonance with water for quite a while, and I'll tell you about that story a little bit later. But for right now, I think I'd like to deal with the fact that we're going to first start with the sacred implications of water and the importance, and the scientific, and then the sonic dimensions of water. And we begin by going, why water? What is the sacred understanding of water? Well, to begin with, the ancients knew that water is life. And they understood the importance of honoring water. In Genesis, it begins, in the beginning, the Spirit moved upon the face of the water. Wow. In all these different traditions, water is the original essence of life. From the Bhagavad Gita in the Hindu tradition, to the Maori tradition, to the Taoist tradition, to the Dogon tribe in Africa, all throughout the planet, these different traditions understand the importance of water. They perceive of water as being a living entity, whether it's a goddess or a spirit or whatnot. They knew water was alive. Andy and I were down in Australia for the December 21st beginning of the, shall we say, new era in 2012 for a particular gathering called the Uplift Festival with a lot of dear friends. And we encountered a being by the name of Grandma Aggie, who was one of the 12 indigenous grandmothers. And we had a great resonance together. She particularly liked a recording of mine called Dolphin Dreams that we're going to be listening to an amplified aspect of it. But one of the things that really impressed us the most when we really learned from her was the fact that whenever she passed a body of water, or whenever she drank water, she would thank the water and bless it. And I think if there's going to be an overall takeaway from this whole phenomena, it's that we can do the same with any water that we drink or even go around. Now, water as a healing sacred presence is, found throughout the planet. And if you think about it, you have Lourdes, which is the healing water of Lourdes. People drink it, they get cured. Or in the Ganges in India, fabulous, fabulous stories about the healing properties of it, despite the fact that it has some very, very funky elements in it that seem not to affect the people who partake in drinking it and vibing in it. The Jordan River, wow, what an incredible body of water. So water throughout our planet is really an important aspect, if you like, the different temples and the sacred sites that are built alongside. Water, usually underground water. There's usually water underground. These really important either sacred temples or churches or whatnot, because the water imbibes and carries an energetic form. Our various religions really utilize, they're filled with water rituals. There's baptism, You have purification systems, anointing systems, where water is the medium of transformation. And now when we think about this, we are water. This is the new, if you like, scientific awareness. On a physiological level, about 70% of our body by weight is water, and our brain is about 99% water, maybe 90% water, but that's close enough. And on a molecular level, nearly 99% of all the molecules in the body are water. H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms to 1 oxygen atom, creating a tetrahedron. Now, the new thinking is that we are not bodies that contain water. We are water that has taken human form and been embodied. I love that. We are, I feel like, water that has taken human form and has been embodied. And as we will basically learn, water is not just a liquid. It resonates, it vibrates, it holds memory, and it responds to every vibration. Water holds the vibrational imprint of all that it encounters. Now let's talk for a moment about the scientist and scientific work regarding water. Now, Dr. Gerald Pollack, who's a very well-known researcher, found that water stores energy, it organizes information, and is able to power cellular function, like a biological battery. He also found that there's a fourth state of water. You have liquid, water we drink, ice, solid, steam, gas, but a fourth state that's almost kind of like a gelatinous substance. So he's found that there's a fourth state of water. Very cool. Dr. Bernard Krupplin found that water, when it evaporates, leaves distinct patterns that remain in the residue, reflecting what the water was exposed to. And this includes sound, electromagnetic energy, and even emotions. And that sounds like the work of a friend of ours we'll talk about in a minute, Dr. Masaru Emoto. Nobel laureate Dr. Luc Montand, who is one of the co-discoverers of the HIV virus, found that water can carry and transmit the electromagnetic energy of DNA. Water can carry the electromagnetic energy of DNA. How cool is that? Dr. Mei Wan Ho found that water in living tissue behaves as a quantum coherent matrix, transmitting information at the speed of light in our cells, which pretty interesting. That's perhaps how information is almost instantaneously transmitted throughout our body. Now let's talk about the work of a friend of ours and someone that most of you know about a whole lot, and that's Dr. Masaru Emoto. And Dr. Emoto's water crystal photography, well known. He's published a number of books, and it was my pleasure to meet with him. And he actually even did some work with one of my recordings. But what he found was that he basically would take water, purified water, he would freeze it, and then photograph it using a phenomenon called a dark field microscope. Now, different waters would be exposed to different energy forms, different vibrations, different music, different emotions. And what he found was that water that was exposed to high vibrational aspects, love, gratitude, really lovely music, created these beautiful snowflake-like forms. And water that was exposed to negative energy, if you like, look like mud. And we're going to like see a picture of this in a moment, because this is, for example, uh, this is water that was done from a, shall we say, heavy metal band, and I never was able to find out what it was, and I don't want to suggest that all heavy metal music would do it, but it depends on the energy, the intention of the person. So this is, shall we say, heavy metal energy. Take a look at this. Looks like mud. And now he did the same thing with this recording that I created called Holy Harmony. Now take a look at this. A lot of people call this picture the thumbprint of God. So let's take a look at this one. And now here's a comparison of the two of them, just so you see. Now, one of Dr. Emoto's most important, from my perspective, slides, or comparative slides, is from the Fujiwara Dam in Japan, which is a polluted, the water is polluted there. And he took a photograph of the water. And then he had a Zen monk chant over it. So here's a picture of the water by a Buddhist monk chanting the Heart Sutra. Gate gate paragate parasam gate bodhi svaha. I love looking at this. This is so beautiful and so very, very important. Let's look at a comparison between the two of them. Nice. Now, think about it. How much of our bodies are water? How much of our planet is water? Now, if we can, if you like, work with intentionalized sacred sound into the water to create purification like that, wow, what a great possibility. So it's just something I'd love for us all to contemplate. And remember that, we do an event called World Sound Healing Day. And indeed, on that day, one of the purposes of World Sound Healing Day is to heal our water. So when we do our global Om later, we're going to be focused on one of our purposes is to heal our water. Another, if you like, wonderful visual image of water has been done by Dr. John Stuart Reid, our dear friend, in his Simoscope, and has demonstrated how sound waves capture geometric patterns on the water's surface. And he's done thousands of this. This is based upon the work of Dr. Hans Jenny, a Swiss medical doctor back in the 1970s, who actually coined the term cymatics, which is Greek for waveform. Kaima, cyma, waveforms, study of waveforms. And he found that every frequency and every music leaves a distinct geometric imprint on the water. And he's basically able to photograph that and use that. So we're not going to look at a few different, because John is a friend and he's photographed some of my music. So here is an image of chakra chants. Nice, huh? And here is one from Reiki chants. And I just love the different geometries that are there. And John did me the honor of actually photographing what my intoning of the divine name looked like. So here is actually a little video of my intoning the divine name. You can see how the sounds, the harmonics of the divine name seem to really create some wonderful effects in this. Now, speaking about the divine name recently, world-renowned researcher Dr. Glen Rein, who did some powerful, powerful work with heart math and showing how the energy of compassion, love really affected positively DNA, he demonstrated that while water has its own intrinsic frequencies, when he played the divine name using the water, he found that 7 new frequencies emerged from the water. Wow. 7 new frequencies. And he hypothesized that if there are frequencies in the water, then they will be in your body when we drink it. Wow. And that reminds me of a really powerful dream I had in the early 1990s. It was actually a conscious dream, if you like, a waking vision, which I was shown that water could be encoded with different frequencies that when drunk would actually nullify imbalanced energies in our body. And it was very cool. It's a lot like homeopathy, but different in the fact that you could simply take the water, encode it with an ohm or different frequencies, or a technique that I utilize to encode the water into our bodies. And when it was consumed, the frequencies would cascade through the body and dissolve imbalances. I was actually, during this experience, which was quite profound for me, I was literally told that, your next assignment is to really work with water, and how sound and other intentionalities affect us. And I was like, no, I'm really involved in another aspect of being, which I continue to these days, and I, prefer to pass on that one, which I did. And what was interesting is when I basically had lunch with Masaru Emoto, I told him the story and I asked him about when did he first get his sort of wake-up call to begin studying the effects of water. And it was really shortly after that. So sometimes I think he might have been given the assignment. So blessed be. I really appreciate that. Now, the overall gestalt is, what can we do to embody this? I think first and foremost, remember to bless the water if you're drinking it, and thank the water. I should take the water, like Grandma Aggie said. Thank you, water. Bless water. Thank it. It's powerful and important. And when you pass by water, project, if you like, healing energies to it. Bless it, thank it. Whatever body of water, even the ocean, give thanks for it, the aspect, the essence of life. You know, here's a reminder, too, to stay hydrated and drink plenty of water. I don't think we drink enough water. And, and it's important. Nowadays, I think we should do whatever we can. There are so many different devices. I'm not going to get into that at this particular point in time and space because there's so many different ways of working with water, different units that you can buy to purify the water, to hydrate it, to oxygenate it, to do X, Y, and Z, to clear it. But it's obvious that water is not the same as it used to be. Lots of different ingredients have found their way into a lot of water. The water has become, shall we say, deadened. And just we can enliven it with our own vibrational field. Remember, each of us is primarily water. It's living. It's responsive. It's vibrational. Every sound that we make enters the water of our body and is recorded there. Every word, every tone, every intention, it matters. What I do, and I just share this with you, is, and I was guided to do this, and it seems to really work, is I simply take a set of headphones and I put them over a jar of pretty clean water, and I let the music play. And what I use personally is Holy Harmony, because that has been Dr. Glen Rein has done some research on that one, and he's found that really affects positively water and DNA. And here's actually a picture of it. Kind of looks a little funny, but I think it's pretty powerful. Just one way of encoding, a simple but perhaps profound way of encoding water with different frequencies. So it's just a thought. So try programming your own water in whatever way you like, whether it's when you drink it, oming into it, or chanting into it, or just even sending a blessing into the water. But try that and see. It may actually change literally the molecular structure of water, because you can do that. Water has a structure that can be modified and changed with our vibrational energy and our intention. Well, this is just a beginning framework of working with water. There's so much else. A book that I highly recommend is Karen Elkins's Echoes of Water, which is available, and it's a great book on beautifully illustrated. And it's a great book that is a compendium of information of scientists, etc., that she interviewed. And I just like this much we touched on, as we just touched this much on all our different subjects and different things. And it's just great. So we'll take a breath now and move on to a video that I created. I thought you'd like this one. This is one that's never been heard. It was inward guidance I created for myself. I call it Divine Dolphin, because I thought, okay, my dear mentor, Dr. Peter Guy Manners, used to use this recording in water itself to help treat patients. It's got the sounds of ocean, heartbeat, coral voices, dolphins and whales, as well as other stuff. And then I also took the sound of my intoning the divine name, and which we heard before, and put it in with this, and created this very nice conglomerate of sound that I created. Some, I feel like I didn't create. I took the pictures of some dolphins in water and put this all together and created this recording called Divine Dolphin. So we'll be listening to an excerpt of this unreleased, nobody's heard it until now, in order to get in resonance with the energy of water. And while you're watching that, just breathe. Feel the field of the energies that are there. And think about the importance of water. Okay, we'll be back after that. Well, that was, for me, a very lovely experience, and I trust that it was for you as well. Thank you for joining me in experiencing Divine Dolphin. Now it's usually the part of the sound satsang that I turn over to my beloved Andy, but as mentioned, she's not able to join us tonight, so she left me some notes on the summer solstice. Today is June 21st, 2026, and the solstice happened. We're in fabulous mountain time. It happened at 2:25 a.m. That is this morning, daylight savings time. And what can I say? It's a very, very special day. It is the longest day of the year. And at least for those of us in the, should we say, the northern hemisphere, this is true. This is the moment when the sun reaches its highest point in the sky and is at its absolute peak. Since earliest times, every civilization on Earth has recognized this day as being sacred, a moment to pause, reflect, and celebrate and honor the gifts of light and life. In astrology, the summer solstice marks the moment that the sun moves into the sign of Cancer, a water sign. Okay, we're in sound and water, water and sound, and Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So right at this peak of solar light, we are also being called inward, into feeling, into intuition, into deep waters of the heart. It's also a beautiful paradox, the greatest outer light inviting the greatest inner depth. And how perfect that our subject today is water. Now, what makes this particular solstice especially remarkable is the larger astrological background of 2026, and here's what it is, a few points. 1. Earlier this year, two very significant planets, Saturn and Neptune, came together in a conjunction that happens once every 15 years or so in the sign of Aries. It has not happened for over 1,000 years. Wow. Amplifying themes of emotional healing, nurturing, and deep feeling. And in just 9 days from today, Jupiter moves into Leo, igniting a whole new wave of creativity, joy, self-expression, and heart-centered courage. We are literally sitting at the threshold of that shift right now. What a blessing, what a moment to be gathering together in this sound satsang. 3rd, Uranus, the planet of awakening and breakthrough, has recently moved into Gemini, the sign of communication, ideas, and connection. This brings a wonderful energy of new discoveries, new conversations, and new ways of sharing wisdom with one another and with the world. So if I were to offer one simple astrological invitation for this solstice, it would be this. We are at a threshold, the greatest light of the year, a water sign calling us into depth and feeling, ancient dreams being called into action, creativity and joy about to ignite, and a sky full of awakening energy supporting new ideas and new connections. It is, in every sense, a beautiful day to be talking about water, about sound, and about the healing possibilities that live at the intersection of the two. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, astrology. Thank you, everyone. I trust that was a little bit illuminating. And now we move into our time of working with a global guided Om. And for this one, as mentioned, we're going to do a little bit more of an extensive one just because our focus is on water and sound. So let's do some of our healing consciousness focused on the energy of healing our water, as well as just bringing peace, love, blessings onto our planet. As you know, this very, very powerful guided global Om works with just so many powerful sonic frequencies, transitions and transmissions, including, of course, the Om, as well as a wonderful guided meditation by Andy that will create heart-brain coherence. And I know that you know that when our heart and our brain are in a state of coherence, of entrainment, if you like, in symphony together, that we have a just greater magnified electromagnetic field, 50 times, 500, 5,000 times greater. And then when we add the sacred sound of the Om, that field becomes even greater. And then when we sound together, despite the distances between us, we join up in a collective consciousness that interfaces with what I call the Gaia consciousness, and we heal our beloved Mother Earth. So let's all take a nice deep breath. And prepare ourselves to take part in this extended guided global Om. That'll be about 15 minutes long. Let's all sound together, and let's project our light, our love, and our sound all together as we co-create a masterful planetary healing. Are we ready now? Okay. Russell?
The purpose for this meditation is to project a sound encoded with the energies of light and love, and project healing to the Gaia matrix, our beloved planet Earth. We will first create coherence between our heart and our brain. This effect will further be amplified by the power of the sound Ah that you will be toning along with later, bringing more light and love into your body, mind, and spirit for health and wellness. And now, begin to focus on your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly breathing in and out. And as you're breathing in and out, imagine or visualize that you're breathing in and out through your heart. As you're breathing in and out through the area of your heart, remembering that it is love that breathes each breath. And it is love that causes each beat of our heart. Continue breathing slowly, breathing in and out in this manner. And now, I'd like you to call to mind something that has brought you a great deal of appreciation, gratitude, something that you are feeling very good about. This might be an experience with another person. Perhaps it's a beautiful sunset. It may be a beloved pet, a spouse. But it is something that has brought you loving kindness and gratitude and appreciation. And as you're breathing in and out through your heart, feeling this appreciation, feeling this gratitude, you're creating a beautiful coherence between your heart and your brain. And your heart, through this coherence, is expanding, getting larger and larger, and connecting with all the heart and loving energy on our planet in this moment. This is just a wonderful way of creating a very powerful heart activation, and you'll be amplifying this with the sound ah. Continue breathing slowly and deeply while feeling appreciation and gratitude, and imagining your breath going in and out through your heart. Now, visualize this energy and begin to sense a radiant light around you that is permeating every cell of your body and resonating your heart chakra. In a moment, we'll begin to gently sound forth with the ah sound together. And as you do this, visualize the planet Earth as a holographic image floating in front of you. Imagine bathing the Earth in a healing field of light and love that you are creating through your sacred sound. Now, let us begin to make the heart sound ah together, bringing the energy of global harmonization, peace and healing to our beloved planet, Earth. visualizing all the light and love through sound that you have manifested, resonating and bringing to Earth and yourself to a deep state of healing. personal and planetary healing.
Ah, I just love when we do that. You can just feel the energy of all of us coalescing and co-creating a greater field. We are feeding the field of our planet. We are feeding ourselves. We heal the planet. we heal ourselves. We heal ourselves. We heal the planet. We have a choice. We can make a difference, and we did make a difference. So thanks so much for doing this. On this summer solstice that was dedicated to water and sound, let us trust that we helped heal the waters within and without. Remember to bless our water. Remember we can shift and change the vibrational essence of the water and feeding ourselves and feeding the planet. It's an extraordinarily powerful and important process that I want to bring to your attention. There's so much more that could be shared, and perhaps we'll do it another time. So until our next Sound Satsang, when I will be rejoined by my beloved Andy, keep lots of love and light through sound in your lives. Blessings now. Bye-bye.